What's going on, guys? Today I thought I would shoot a little bit of a different video for you. This is going to be geared more towards new vapors that are thinking about getting into DIY, or even some veteran vapors that haven't done DIY yet. Maybe they've been doing sample box or just buying flavors from their local shop or just online at various places. But they've been curious about how to make your own DIY e-juice. Like this, for example, is a 30 ml bottle I made up earlier, and it is Capella Sweet Strawberry. So I want to take you guys kind of like a little bit of a shopping spree here, show you where you need to go and what supplies that you need to buy and things like that. So first thing we're going to do here, the first website I'm looking at is Wizard Labs. It's wizardlabs.us, and this is where I buy, well, I have bought propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, and nicotine and all that from them in the past, even flavorings and all that. They sell everything. But these days, I buy my various products from different places because, you know, I've learned over the last 7 months to where to get better deals and things like that. So I'll just let you in on that right now, and maybe it'll help save you some money, and maybe this video will help you get into making your own DIY. And obviously, as most of you probably already know, DIY is going to be a lot cheaper than buying, say, premium e-liquid, say a 30 ml bottle like this that costs like $18 to $25. I made this right here for probably, I don't even know, probably 50 cents or $1. Not much. Okay, so when you first come to wizardlabs.us, you're going to want to go and get nicotine. Okay, now nicotine it's called your nicotine base, and you may have heard that in other videos and things like that. So it's your base solution that you're going to use to mix with propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin, or, you know, just however you end up mixing your juices. But you can get your nicotine base right here. It shows 12, 18, 24 on through the gamut up to 100 milligram. I always get 100 milligram because this is the strongest that they have, and I just prefer it that way. You can get it in these other concentrates here, but I prefer it in the strongest that they sell. And when I buy it, I always buy it, well, I bought it in both concentrates. I bought it with 100% vegetable glycerin or 100% PG. The vegetable glycerin, I keep all of my DIY supplies in the refrigerator, okay? And vegetable glycerin, when you put it in the refrigerator, it's already a thick liquid. It becomes even thicker in the refrigerator, so it's hard to pull it up in a syringe. Makes it a lot more difficult. So I go ahead and say, for example here, we'll just go with, I normally buy this one right here, the 250 ml. But you can get this one for 16. It's a 120 ml bottle, which is roughly the size of this Capella. This is 118. Okay, so it's a fairly decent size, decent amount of nicotine. So then what you want to do is go right here, and it gives you the option of selecting propylene glycol or vegetable glycerin for the base solution of the nicotine that they're going to mix into it, okay? So the nicotine is going to be watered down with the propylene glycol or the vegetable glycerin. My advice, even if you vape, say 100%, or try to vape 100% VG, I would still recommend getting your nicotine base and propylene glycol, and then maybe doing a 90-10 mix or whatever if you're, you know, if you're sensitive to propylene glycol is what I'm getting at. But I mean, if you are, go ahead and get the vegetable glycerin. But I definitely highly recommend, for those of you that don't have any PG allergies or issues or anything like that, get your nicotine base and propylene glycol. So you get that. That's $16. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is get your syringes, and they have a whole slew of different types here. When I first started out, I bought like a little bit of everything. I mean, I went haywire, man. I bought all kinds of stuff. But I found that Out of all these blunt needle tips here, the best one out of all of these is the 14 gauge. Okay, so as you go up higher, the 14 gauge is bigger, for example, much bigger than a 20 gauge. So they get bigger. Okay, 14 gauge is a lot bigger around than the 20. You would think that that's reversed, but it's not. So 14 gauge is what you can pull up the liquid much better because it has a wider opening. And then I would also recommend, as far as the actual syringe itself, as you can see, these are 59 cents a piece. I would recommend getting, let's see, the 5 milliliter and the 3 milliliter. These are the two that I use the most, and they're both 59 cents a piece. And then I think some of these you actually get the little needle gauge with it. I could be wrong. Just get the blunt needle tips as well. You're definitely going to want to get them. Just match them up. Get like 5 or so of the 3 mils, 5 of the 5 mil, and then you really only need like 2 of the little 14 gauge green tipped 14 gauge needles, blunt tip needles, and you can just rinse those out and reuse them over and over. These say to use them one time and then toss them in the trash. Sure, you can do that if you want to keep paying 59 cents every time you use one. I just rinse mine out with water, dry them out with paper towels and stuff, and I use them over and over. Normally, I'll use them until the writing on some of these, especially the 3 mil, the writing wears off after it gets wet, gets nicotine and stuff like that on it. It'll wear off and become clear, and then you just got to throw it out and then get a new one. So you're going to need 3 mil and 5 mil, or get the ones that you want, but I suggest the 3 mil and the 5 mil syringe with the 14 gauge blunt tip needle tips, okay? And then get your nicotine solution. And really, from this site, that's all you need to get. That's all I would suggest to get from here. But if you choose to, you can also get flavorings. And a site that I'm going to take you to and talk about will be Capella. Okay? But difference being on here is that you're getting an 8 milliliter glass vial for $1.49, and you get a better deal as far as Capella flavors go. You get a better deal if you go to Capella and buy it from them. You get a lot more, and it's a lot cheaper. But you can still, like I say, you can still buy flavorings from here. I bought many flavors from here. Mainly what I buy from Wizard Labs, or what I have bought a lot of in the past. I bought Loran's. I bought everything they're offering here. Seedman, the Flavor Apprentice. I love the Flavor Apprentice. I bought all of these from these guys. But normally what I do nowadays, instead of buying my flavorings from Wizard Labs, I go to like the Flavors Apprentice, and I'll buy stuff from them, because I think you can get 30 milliliters or something like that, I believe it is, for like $5. So it's pretty cheap. And it comes directly from the manufacturer, you know what I'm saying? I don't know exactly what Wizard Labs does and why they have these flavorings. Maybe these companies send them the flavors and they mix them up or whatever for you, and then, I don't know, whatever they do. But I know they make it fresh. I know that much. So anyway, that's a touch and base a little bit on the flavoring. So next thing you're going to need, we'll just go ahead and do the flavorings now, because here's the Capella website. So the name of the company is Capella Flavor Drops, okay? And they've got all different kinds of flavors, anything you can think of. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'll go down and show you, say, for example, I know it's here somewhere, but yeah, right here, the sweet strawberry. Actually, that's a different one. That's, if you notice, it says RF, sweet strawberry. I can't remember what that stands for right off the bat, but this is the one, if you like strawberry, this is the one you would look for, just the sweet strawberry. And you can see this is $3.29, and it's a 13 milliliter bottle, and they've got watermelon, all different kinds of stuff. But if you like tobacco vapes and all that, they have all that as well. If you go all the way back up here to the top and look over here, well, actually I'm in it right now. but you could probably type in like tobacco right there in the search bar if you like tobaccos or mints or any of that kind of stuff. And one thing I will say is that when you're mixing DIY, things like banana, like this right here, banana, vanilla, most of the tobacco flavors, mints, menthols, spearmint, all that kind of stuff, those are really, really strong flavors, and I suggest when you're first mixing those to start out at less than 5%, somewhere between 3 and 5%. Even with Capella, all of their flavors are extremely strong. I mean, it's just like straight up flavor concentrate. And this sweet strawberry, I mix it at 4%, and that's all you need. I mean, it's got some serious flavor to it. But 4%, I've mixed it in various percentages, and 4% seems to be about right. Now, that's just for me, but just trust me on this. When you're first starting out, one thing I forgot to mention really quick back over here at Wizard Labs, you're also going to need some bottles. Sorry about that, guys. Right here goes bottles and containers. So you're going to want to pick some of these up. As you can see, right there's the blue 30 milliliter. That's these right here. I bought like 10 of these when I first started out. I didn't need them. I bought a little bit of everything that you see right there. Pretty much everything. But I would suggest probably getting like a couple of these 50 mils. And what I do with those is this right here. Remember I told you I keep my VG and PG in the refrigerator? Well, I keep these off to the side. Okay? I've had these out for quite a while, as you can see. But these are actually completely full right now. I just filled them up earlier. But I have one that has PG and VG only. Okay? And I keep these off to the side where I can just reach and get them and I can make juice. But like this, I keep all this in the refrigerator, all my flavorings and stuff, and my nicotine is all in the refrigerator. And the big bottles that I'm going to show you here in a little while that I use to fill these up, I keep those in the refrigerator as well. I just figure it's flavorings, it's a food product, so it stays fresher longer. So you're going to need some bottles. Just get whatever you want, but I suggest getting the 30 mils and getting down here, getting a couple of the 3 mil. And maybe even some of these 10 mils, they're dirt cheap. And the 3 mils you can use to test flavors and, test it on RDA or something. That way you can do some mixes and mix some stuff up until you find the particular concentration and percentages of everything that you like. And that's a cheaper way of doing it and a simpler way than making up like an entire 30 mil batch, which is what I used to do, trust me. And I would be, taste nasty, and I'd take it and rinse it out and start all over again. So you don't want to do that. That's just being wasteful. Okay, so next thing you're going to need is you're going to need vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol. And the best place that I've found so far for buying vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol is right here on Amazon, believe it or not. If you look at this bottle, there you can read exactly what it is. Highest quality available, certified kosher, certified vegan suitable, certified USP, FCC food grade, 100% US sourced, safe BPA free bottle. It's 1 quart, 32 fluid ounces, and it has a foil heat seal under the cap, so you got to peel that back whenever you open it. And that's distributed by Savvy E-Tail, St. Charles, Illinois. So there you go. And they also make the PG. And that is right here. So you can get both of them from the same company. And the shipping is quick and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to ship it. So you'd be paying, what, 20, 25 bucks? And you'll have enough PG and VG to last you quite a long time, trust me. I bought a bottle of vegetable glycerin. I didn't buy the propylene glycol because I'd already bought that from Wizard Labs. But when I first started, I was vaping a lot of VG, so I went through my bottle from Wizard Labs pretty quick, and I replaced it with one of these, only the propylene or the vegetable glycerin, not the propylene glycol, and I just used the last bit of it in this bottle right here today, and I bought that bottle probably in June, and it's now November, so I had it a long time. 32 ounces is a lot, man. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need some, now that you got your propylene glycol, your nicotine, you got your bottles, you got your syringes and all that stuff. Now you're going to need something to wick it with. And you can use organic cotton. A lot of people do. I've got an entire bag of it myself. But what I had to do with it when I first bought my organic cotton is I boiled it in distilled water. Then after I boiled it for 10 or 15 minutes, I strained it and rinsed it with distilled water and squeezed all that out of it. Then I put it back in a pot with distilled water again and repeated the entire process. And then I patted it dry with paper towels, and then I left it to sit out overnight to dry. And then I've been using that ever since, and that was right after I first started, and I still got all of this left. And I've made tons and tons and tons of coils out of it. So now here recently, I bought what you're looking at there, which is Cotton Labo, I think it's called, organic cotton, puff size, and that's this. And I've already made a ton of coils out of it, as you can see. I've got a crap ton of this stuff. The difference being is I didn't have to boil this or do any of that. This stuff is so fresh and clean, you don't need to do any of that. It doesn't have any kind of chemicals in it, bleaches, or any of that kind of stuff. And that's actually what I have in here right now. And the flavor on it, top notch, man. It's fantastic. And you can get a bag of this. Now it came down even more. When I bought mine, it was $9. Now it's $8.30 with free shipping. So you can get your propylene glycol, your vegetable glycerin, and your wicking material all from the same place. And next, if you want to get into coil building, you can also get this from Amazon. Right here. This is a 28 gauge Kanthal wire. And you can use this to build coils. They have 28 gauge, 22, 26, 24, 32, 30, you know, whatever you want, they've got it. And it's about $7 or so for a 100-foot roll. Now, most places you go to, like some of the flavor companies might sell stuff like this, or even some of the vape shops and stuff will sell it, but they'll sell you like 5 feet for $6 or something. It's pretty silly. Complete waste of money. Don't do that. I actually did it when I first started vaping. I bought like a little 5-foot roll, and I think I paid like $8 for it. So I'm not going to mention the store that I bought it from locally, but yeah, to them for that, because they completely ripped me off, and they knew they were ripping me off, but I was new at vaping. They took advantage of me. So I'm just trying to keep that kind of stuff from happening to you guys, because people will do it. There's some people out there that are just that way, man. They're looking to make a buck, and that's it. So now you got your Kanthal wire. It depends, you know, if you're going to get into coil building, I would suggest watching somebody like probably Rip Trippers, or, well, not Twisted Messes, because he makes a lot of intricate stuff. Big Lou makes some cool coils that, you know, if you want to learn how to wrap and do all that kind of stuff, these are some of the guys that you might want to check out. And they got tons of videos on how to do coil wrapping. I have a few videos on coil wrapping. I haven't been doing any lately here, but, you know, I'll put some more back up. I do a lot of basic stuff, you know. I still rock single coils. I like them. I've tried dual, quads, all that stuff, but I like single coils. So, anyway, this is a whole nother thing, but if you want to learn how to do it, just know that you can get your Kanthal wire here. You can get nichrome. You can get ribbon wire. Amazon has all that, so you don't need to go anywhere else but right here to get it. Okay, so you want to come right here to where it says the Flavor Apprentice. And then you select professional flavors. And then right here goes all the various types of flavors they have. Now this isn't e-juice. This isn't pre-made. This right here is the same thing as this. It's flavoring. And there's a big difference. Let's see, for example, let's go to fruit. Key lime flavor. There's all different kinds of stuff here. Kiwi and lemon and apple candy. There's just all kinds of stuff. And what I can tell you about the Flavors Apprentice is, in my personal opinion, they are top notch. Them and Capella are my favorite two to this point. There's nobody that comes close to them if you're doing DIY. You know, that's just my opinion, obviously, but you've been doing it as long as I have. You learn who has the good flavors and who doesn't. And, you know, I haven't really been doing it that long, but when you're mixing flavors every day and you're doing it for like 7 months, you've learned a little bit about it. So, and the Flavors Apprentice, they have all kinds of stuff. And like I said, just take this key line, for example. If you bought, so you can get 8 milliliters at Wizard Labs for, I think it was $1.49, okay? And you get 4 here for $1.40, so that seems kind of ridiculous, right? Well, when you start going up and you get like to 1 ounce and all that, if you go back over to Wizard Labs and you type in, or you select an ounce, it's going to be a lot more. It ends up being like $6 or something, $6.50, to whereas you can get 1 ounce here for $5. And buying like 4 milliliters is kind of pointless. 15 might be all right, depending if it's a flavor that you're not particularly fond of, or not you're not fond of, but if it's a flavor that you don't vape all the time, but you still like it, then maybe a 15 ml bottle is probably the best choice. But I normally will just go ahead and buy 1 ounce for $5, spend the extra $1.20. And you can actually get these in ridiculous amounts of, I mean, I probably shouldn't even go through this, but you can get bulk sizes. You're not ever going to do that, I wouldn't imagine, but you can. Get like a barrel of strawberry or something, I don't know. But anyway, that's pretty much about it as far as all the supplies that you need. Let me look around here just to make sure that I'm correct here. Yeah, because you get the bottles, they got the dripper tops on them and all that kind of stuff. You got your syringes, your cotton, your flavorings. Really the best advice I can give you then from that point is when you're mixing flavors. I think I touched on it just a little bit earlier. But when you're mixing flavors that are like, I don't vape tobaccos. I have, but I don't like them. So I don't vape tobacco, menthol, mints, or any of that kind of stuff. I mainly stick to fruit flavors and dessert flavors. So I like vanilla and all the different kinds of custards, ice cream flavors. I'm not real big on chocolate, but sometimes I will vape it. I mainly vape like strawberry, orange, and apple, and pineapple, and things like that. You know, raspberry, grape, all that kind of stuff. And one thing I've learned is that when it comes to flavorings, period, from the Flavor Apprentice, you're best to go with 5% or less. If you're going with something from the Perfumer's Apprentice, then it's going to vary. And this goes also for Mount Baker Vapers flavorings as well. Let me take a vape. So between Mount Baker Vapor and the Flavors Apprentice, if you're talking about like banana, cinnamon, green apple's another one. Those flavors are extremely pungent. They're real strong. So the best bet is to go with about 2 to 4% on them, because if not, they're going to overpower everything. They're going to be so strong you can't vape them. I mean, some people probably can, but I'm just giving you the best practice, man. Try it out in like a little 3 ml bottle and try it out at 3 to 4%, and then go from there. And that's with stuff like banana and cinnamon and all that kind of stuff. I had to learn the hard way with cinnamon because I got some cinnamon before. In fact, I still have it in the refrigerator, and I mixed it at 20%. Not a good idea, because when I first vaped it, it about burnt my throat completely out, man. It was rough. So that was a big no-no, and I had to learn it the hard way. Now, when you're talking about strawberry from either Mount Baker Vapor or the Flavors Apprentice, the best practice is between 10 and 15%. And that's either with ripe or just regular strawberry. Same thing goes with like their grape and cherry and, you know, just the typical flavors like pineapple and all that kind of stuff. Now, Mount Baker Vapor, on the other hand, theirs is a little weaker. So you want to go from 20 to 25%, okay? And now that's just on like the fruit flavors minus banana, or even going back over to like the spicy flavors like cinnamon. They're really strong, so you still want to exercise caution when mixing them from even Mount Baker Vapor, and do it at like, 3 to 4% or something. That's just been my experience so far. And out of all the strawberry that I've tried from everybody, I do like the Flavors Apprentice, but Capella wins hands down. The sweet strawberry is the very best as far as I'm concerned. And that's just for strawberry lovers. Now, keep in mind, I will take something like this, and then I'll take like the vanilla, French vanilla version 2 I have in the refrigerator, and I'll mix those together. I make combinations of different flavors. I've got boxes, little clear boxes that have individual slots, and they're holding probably 15, 16 flavors each, and I got like 3 or 4 of them in my refrigerator, and they're full of just completely different types of flavors and stuff. I've got everything from tobacco to menthol to every kind of fruit you can think of. And I even have a flavor in there that's called pickle. And it's horrible. It tastes like a pickle, but yeah, you don't want to vape a pickle. I don't know why I got it. So anyway, I think that's pretty much going to about cover it, guys. I could mix a bottle, but that's kind of pointless. I already have a video where I did that. It's pretty simple. You're going to need an eJuice Me Up calculator. Sorry about that. You'll have to have something like that in order to mix your flavors. And if you don't know how to use the eJuice Me Up calculator, I have a video on that. Or there's other videos in the vape community that you can check out as well. And I definitely highly recommend not just watching this video, but watching all the other vapors out there that do DIY and stuff like that, and coil building and all that, because you can learn so much from everybody. That's what's great about the vape community. It really truly is a community, and we all learn from each other. Veteran vapors, new vapors, all that. We learn so much from each other. That's what I do in a day. If I'm not making a video for you guys, I'm watching videos of other vapors and stuff like that. You know, when I'm not working, that is. But I love vape videos. I constantly watch and support all the other vapors in the community because, you know, that's the way it should be. So anyway, you can learn a lot from other people. Don't just watch this video, watch theirs as well, because you can pick up a lot of really cool stuff, because we all do stuff differently. And I'm not saying that what I do is the right way. It's the right way for me, but it might not be for you. This is just a simple way to help you get started if you're unfamiliar with DIY. And that's what this is all about. So if you want to save yourself some money, and you don't want to be spending like all your hard-earned money on premium e-liquids, you know, costing you $20, $15, $20 a bottle and stuff like that. This right here, I need to talk about just really quick. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm just going to tell you guys that I have 7 different flavors of it. It's called 7 Sins. It's from Buckeye Vapors, and it's a brand new line that just came out October 31st, and they gave me all 7 bottles. And these are not on the market. So you can't even go buy these yet. And all I have to say, and I'm not like kissing some Buckeye Vapor ass, these juices are the very best that I've ever had from Buckeye Vapors. And I have 7 different flavors. So yeah, they just keep on keeping on. And these are all fantastic. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that right there. I've been vaping the crap out of this. I don't even know what the descriptions of these are. You know, I just have to vape them and try to guess because they're not on the market yet. So that's very cool. But I'm going to do a video review on those coming up here probably in the next couple of days or so. So anyway, guys, I hope this video helps. You know, I wish somebody would have had something like this out there for me when I started 7 months ago, man, that would, you know, show me where to go on the internet and, you know, tell me what all the syringes and everything that I needed to buy. You know, that would have been awesome, but, you know, it is what it is. I hope this helps you guys out. That way you'll be able to go and you know where to get your bottles from, where to get your flavors from, and, you know, what to expect when you start mixing and how to do it and all that kind of stuff. So until next time, guys, take care and happy vaping.